reparatory justice must also be gender responsive. The historical experiences of women and girls cannot remain footnotes in the global narrative. So any framework for truth-telling, memorialization, reparatory justice, or historical reckoning that fails to recognize the specific experience of women will remain incomplete.
And now, lawyers of MPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Ntwiboisiakon are hopeful that plea negotiations with the Attorney General will bear fruitful outcome after the High Court granted the party's request to progress. Bernard Ntwiboisiakon has been charged with defrauding by false pretenses, forgery, authoring forged documents, and money laundering in a loan deal with the Ghana Export and Import Bank, Exim Bank.
Prosecutors allege that between 2018 and 2022, Wontumi fraudulently obtained 14.3 million Ghana cedis from Exim Bank through false pretenses, using Wontumi Farms Limited as the vehicle for the transaction. Bernard Ntwiboisiakon is also alleged to have presented a forged receipt to bank officials to support an additional 4 million Ghana cedis facility. Prosecutors further allege that Chairman Wontumi, Thomas Ntwiboisiakon, and Wontumi Farms Limited intentionally caused Exim Bank to suffer financial loss exceeding 30 million Ghana cedis in the course of the business transaction. The NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman initially pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against him by the Attorney General. On June 5, however, he, through his lawyers, wrote to the prosecution to request the commencement of plea negotiations. In court on Thursday, June 18, Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai informed the court that he had filed a notice of commencement of the plea negotiations and hence prayed the court for a 2-week adjournment. Andy Apiakubi, lead counsel for Wontumi, corroborated the Deputy Attorney General's remarks and pleaded with the court to grant the prayer. Justice Abdul Basit then directed both the prosecution and the defense to report back to the court by July 6 with the progress of the negotiations. Lawyer for Wontumi spoke after proceedings.
We are very hopeful that by the time we come to the court we will have made some progress and inform the court of what the issues are left outstanding for us to play, to file our plea agreement in the court. The mood in the court in the predisposition of counsel on both sides suggests that we'll be able to reach a mutual settlement quickly for us to file and quickly and be with that will bring the matter to finality.
And that was a report filed by my colleague Lord Edu Asari. Now, Education Minister Harry Naidu has disclosed that Ghana's education sector is grappling with a significant shortage of teachers, estimating that the country currently requires between 50,000 and 90,000 additional teachers to adequately meet the demands of schools across the country. He attributed the inability to recruit to budget constraint. He spoke in Parliament on Thursday.
We need a minimum of 50,000 teachers across the country, but that is subject to budget, and the budget being able to absorb that. I know that compensation as a percentage of government spending sometimes affects the number of teachers that are recruited.
Harry Naidu is the Minister for Education. And now the Controller and Accountant General's Department is set to begin recovering student loans from thousands of beneficiaries who are now unemployed in the public service. The move, which will affect about 4,000 graduates, is aimed at ensuring the sustainability of the student loan scheme and making funds available for future generations of students.
For many Ghanaian students, the student loan scheme has been a lifeline, easing the financial burden on families and providing hope for access to higher education. However, as demand for the facility continues to grow, concerns have emerged about the fund's long-term sustainability. Speaking to a cross-section of tertiary students in Accra, the Chief Executive Officer of the Student Loan Trust, Dr. Sajida Shiraz, stressed the need for stronger partnerships and innovative funding strategies to keep the program afloat.
I'm happy to say that we have disbursed 127 million Ghana cedis in enhanced loans directly to 46,679 students across public and private institutions in Ghana.
The Controller and Accountant General also revealed that 4,000 former beneficiaries have been identified on the government payroll.
We have already identified over 4,000 beneficiaries on the government payroll through the collaboration with the trust. And in the coming days, we will engage the trust to agree to the modalities of implementing these deductions. We envisage that these deductions will become one of the important statutory deductions on beneficiary salaries, alongside existing obligations such as Senate and PAYE.
And before we part company, a new study by UNICEF Ghana has revealed that Ghana is investing too little, too late, and unevenly in children, particularly during their critical early years of life. The report, titled Unlocking Potential Early, Rebalancing Public Spending for Children in Ghana, is the country's first age-based analysis of public spending on children from pregnancy through age 17.
According to the study, children aged 0 to 5 receive only 13% of public spending, despite making up about 1/3 of Ghana's child population. The findings show that while Ghana has made progress in areas such as immunization, under 5 mortality reduction, and pre-primary education, major gaps remain in nutrition, birth registration, child protection, and social welfare services. UNICEF says public spending remains heavily concentrated in education, which receives 3.1% of GDP, while social protection, health, and child protection sectors receive significantly less funding. The report comes as Ghana begins implementing its early childhood care and development policy.
What is really important here is that the evidence now shows that some countries have chosen to invest in early years. In Ghana, we have 73% of kids who are multidimensionally poor, and from that group, we have from 0 to 5 is 80% who are poor. So it's actually the most vulnerable group. We need to be intentional to address that group, bring them on board, every child of that group, and we have a very good opportunity in that through the recently launched ECCD policy. It will bring a lot of results for children of Ghana.
And that's how we end the morning news. For more news updates, just log on to our website, it's 3news.com. Thanks for listening. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Good morning.